last few weeks to think about the formation of our hearts. A couple of weeks ago, I was driving the car listening to Dave Ramsey's financial show and noticed he was talking less about the mechanics of getting out of debt and investing and all of that. He was talking more about, because of a caller who was doing everything right but just didn't connect yet. He's talking about how sometimes our emotions lag. Sometimes we've put into practice a certain way of living and we're doing it and it's working, but our emotions are still stuck in the fear mode of before or still stuck in some past era, and it takes a while, in his terms, for our emotions to catch up. And I kind of shelved it as an interesting idea. I was reading Jesus sending out the apostles on mission, and I couldn't help but think that it wasn't so much that he was sending them to accomplish some work. He was. But I think even more importantly, this was part of their formation, an important part of their formation. He was teaching their hearts. Like, intellectually, they had all nodded and assented and agreed. And whenever Jesus said something, they were all on board, and whoever could raise their hand first did. But their hearts weren't there. Like, he would talk about a kingdom. He would talk about care for the least, for the poor. He would talk about the Father's love. And in their own hearts, even if they started to embrace this vision, their hearts were still stuck on so many other things. And so Jesus sends them to go and have their hearts filled with the anointing of the sick, to have their hearts filled with care for the poor, to have their hearts filled with a preaching of hope and joy. And in that labor, in some small way, they were formed. Their hearts were formed. And the things that they said with their mouths became more true. I recently finished a novel by Michael O'Brien, Sophia House. It is quite a novel, dizzying even with his flashbacks, and I think he has a 100-page screenplay written into the middle of the novel. But he explores some very important themes, some very key themes. And one of them is language. And not just the words that we speak and how we understand them, but even more importantly, the word that we speak with our lives. And what it takes to speak an authentic word with our lives. And the main character comes to a realization that his heart must be formed, not just his intellect, if he will speak an authentic word with his life. And the formation of his heart, the formation, healing, transformation, it's this long and arduous process that is a mixture of circumstances and choice and God's loving grace and the work of a lifetime to form and heal our hearts so that the word that we speak with our lives, the love that we offer, the actions that we take, they agree with what we've intellectually accepted and affirmed, but they also speak authentically from a complete and whole, sincere place. Maybe a broken and imperfect place, but a place of love, a place of truth. Not just in our minds, but maybe especially in our hearts. And I just invite us to take advantage of the formation opportunities that God sends to us. Sometimes they're uncomfortable, and almost always they're not what we expected. But in the unexpected and in the uncomfortable, in the loss, even in the pain, there are opportunities for formation, for transformation, not just of our thoughts, but especially of our hearts.